Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at a ship that I didn't necessarily purchase with money, but I've upgraded one of my ships to this with store credit. So it was at one point actual money that either people gave me or I got from like referral bonuses, stuff like that. So I tend to be a little bit long-winded, so you're not going to find a real quick morphologist type of review here. We're gonna actually run the ship and talk about Star Citizen life and stuff like that as we're going. So I apologize right now if you're here for like super concise. This is not going to be the place for you. If you like Star Citizen and you geek out on spaceships and you want to hang out, that's more what the vibe is here. So I'm not super quick about stuff, and I do tend to talk a lot. So I apologize in advance for that. What we have here is the Aegis Redeemer. I'm sorry, not the Redeemer, the Reclaimer. This is going to be one of the largest ships in the game. There are other ships that are a little bit larger, but this ship is freaking massive. And as such, it has the potential to make a lot of money. The downside is because of its size, you sort of kind of need a crew to operate it. You can run it by yourself, and I've done plenty of operating by myself, and I make good money doing it. And right now in the game, the economy is not set, so I'm going to say roughly by myself, if I'm out there and I'm the only one on the ship, and I'll show you how I do it, I make about $1 million per 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Obviously there's time it takes to get out there. Doing the work is real quick. Sometimes I can get more done than others when I'm by myself, but it definitely speeds things up when you have a crew working with you. And it depends on the level that you want to go. Examples. If I go out and crush a Mercury, not a Mercury Star Runner, a Crusader C2, M2, or A2, which is all about the same ship, but they all have different features in them, and I pull the cargo, and I load it onto the ship. Any valuable cargo like gold, quantanium, stuff like that. If I load that onto this ship, and then I strip the ship using the strippers, those are up, you can see them up there under the cockpit. I'm going to try to point with my mouse. That's one of the strippers. There's two of them. You have two people running the strippers. And I actually strip the hull of the ship, and then I use the crusher to crush the ship, and I'm going to get about 50 or 60 boxes of recycled material and about 240 boxes of crushed, or more, maybe 260 boxes of crushed material. The grand total for that trip is going to be about $3 million, right? That's really, really good money. But it still comes out to $1 million an hour. So I have another thing that I do instead. I fly out to a wreck, and instead of getting the cargo and trying to strip the ship, I just crush it. And immediately, that's about $950,000 worth of scrap. If you just crush the main section of an A2, C2, or M2, you're looking at about $1 million. I crush it. I empty the buffer. I go to do another one. I crush that. I empty the buffer, and I'll show you what I mean by that. What do you mean by empty the buffer? We'll talk about that as we get there. And then I crush a third one. Then I go back to the planet and land. I sell the first two loads, and then I empty the buffer and I make one more load and I sell that. $3 million. And I might be out there for a little less time than 3 hours. I can probably do it in about 2.5, maybe even 2 hours. And that's working by myself. But I have no crew, so I don't want to take the time to strip the ship or anything like that. I want to move quickly and get money done. So I can make about $1.5 million per hour. Now, there's, the flip side of that. The ship costs $400 US cash. If you're in game, it's 15 million AUEC. So it's expensive, but it's doable. Micah actually earned one in game. He took vultures, and we worked with him to do cargo, and he did it by himself for night after night after night, and he actually earned his Reclaimer. Now, the downside is when the game resets, he's going to lose that, while I will still retain mine because I've purchased it. Well, I've used store credit. So what I did on that level because you're asking, well, what did you do? So I had an SRV, which is the towing ship, and I never use it. And I have an MSR, which I love, but I can rebuy it fairly cheaply in game. I think they're about 5 mil, maybe 4 something. Yeah, maybe even less, like 2.5 mil, 3 mil. I have to look. But I can always rebuy that ship in game using the money that I make from this. Because this, once again, a couple hours of play and I got an MSR. Yeah. So anyways, I thought this was a good deal as an upgrade. If I want the MSR again, I can always rebuy it in game. And so here we are. We have upgraded to the Aegis. I traded the SRV in, used that money to upgrade my MSR. And so I have lifetime insurance on this. I know some people think it's the biggest scam in the world. Some people think that it's the only way you should buy ships is if it has lifetime. So this one has lifetime insurance, which is really cool. And we've, put some use on it already, and it's great. So let's talk about from the outside what we're looking at here. Once again, I showed you the strippers up front and the big arm that does the crushing. There's a ton of turrets on this. Eventually, it's going to have drones. I don't know what the drones do, but there's a room in there that says launch drones, and there's 2 stations that you can run drones from. I don't know if you can have 2 guys stripping one side of a ship, and then there'll be strippers that are drones that will go strip the other side of the ship. That's kind of cool. Got really cool landing gear stuff going on here. This is a very elaborate system. This needs to be said. This ship is the worst in atmosphere. It just wants to fall out of the sky. So you have to be very careful. You have to make sure that you're flying in VTOL mode when you're coming into land and when you're taking off. And actually, it's easier to take off vertically straight up than it is to actually angle the ship up. We found that we can get about 110 miles per hour going out of, or kilometers per second or whatever, going out of the atmosphere. If we go out of VTOL mode and angle the ship upwards so it's going nose up, it actually drops down to about 40 or 50 kilometers per second. So it's about half the speed if you try to fly it in a flying configuration. You're much better just sitting flat and going straight up like an elevator. It does a lot better. So we VTOL in and out using that. Landing the ship is a nightmare. You really have to kind of run from the outside, from the camera view, because you'll end up whacking it into the ground. So those are things you need to know about this ship. It is a monstrously hard ship to land. The good news is when you do land it, you can land it in these giant hangars that they give you, so you get big hangars. The other thing that you need to know is that this ship cannot land yet at space stations. You can dock. When the docking feature becomes live, you'll be able to, there's an airlock on the top. You'll be able to dock with a space station and go out of the ship that way. But there is no landing at space stations with this ship. It's too big. Now, you can kind of land sideways on the free pads that a lot of these stations have. If they have the longer of the free pads, like there's short ones and there's long ones. If they have the long ones, the gear from front to back will just fit on the pad side to side. But you can't, I don't know how to explain this aside from, you can't land the ship this way. It has to be landed sideways on the pad. You can't put the nose to the space station, or you'll end up having the legs go off the pads on both sides. It has to go sideways onto the pad. So it's, once again, you're dealing with that. You're not going to be, it'd be so much easier if you could just go into the admin at a space station and sell the materials, but you can't, I don't think. And even if you're on the pad, I don't think you can sell it. We could try that. Maybe, at some point we can see if that'll work, but because it would be much easier to do that than to try to land on the ground. Maybe we'll do that at the end. We'll try that. There are 2 entry elevators on this ship. The first one is up front here underneath. Look how cool this is. I mean, this thing is just massive. You can look at the ground here where the circle is and say call elevator when you get close enough. I think I was doing it before. Maybe not. Come on. Why isn't it working? Great. Usually when you look at the circle, there's when you press F and look at the circle, it says, oh, it came down. It did work. It just didn't show call elevator. So this is the front entry for the ship. I don't actually want to use this. I want to put that back up. I don't know how to do it. I think I have to ride it up to get it to close, but so far no buttons yet. So there's a lot of stuff in the ship that doesn't work quite right as of yet. I don't know. If you go in, it'll... I'm not sure. I've gone up it before. I don't know why it's not triggering, but I'm not getting the... Oh, there we go. Okay. Come on. Come on. Ugh. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. But we'll pull it up using the cockpit menu. So once again, there's several remote turrets on the ship. And there's also a huge man turret on the front of the ship that has a big gun. We did get attacked one time while we were doing Micah's ship, and it was pretty funny. The guys attacked, and our gunner took them out in like 2 seconds. It's a massive, I think they're size 5 cannons up front. It's either size 4 or size 5, but they work really well. This is how you get cargo in and out of the ship. It's not ideal. And this is also how you move cargo from different levels. And I'll show you. This ship is unique in the fact that it does not have one level. It's multi-level. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So we're going to look. This is the functional part of the ship is what we're going to look at first. We'll start at the bottom. We're going to go to the cargo hold. The cargo hold's on this side of the ship. So on the front half of the ship. The salvage portion of the ship's in the back, or the arse. Oh, you know what I forgot to show you real quick before we go up. Sorry. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I get ahead of myself. I almost walked past this and didn't tell you. There is some kind of functionality to these rails with the arrows on them. There's some sort of functionality. This door can be opened up from the inside of the ship. I can't do it from out here. But this opens, and this is in the salvage hold. And not the cargo bay, but the salvage hold. And you can somehow, you'll be able to drop packages or boxes or something, and they're going to come down the rails. I don't know if they just sit there or if you can like eject them so that a freighter can come by and pick them up. But there will be some sort of cargo system where your boxes come out here, and that's pretty neat. Doesn't work right now, but you can see that in the future they're planning on doing something with that. I think. I mean, maybe they'll change it, but it seems like that would make sense. That you could. That's how you get it out. Because there's a salvage hold right now. It doesn't seem like the salvage hold does anything, but. Anyway. All right, so we get in. This is huge. This is just huge. Yeah, so here's the cargo hold, and you'll see in my process, this is where once I've outputted all the boxes from the ship, this is where I put the first load. Now, the cargo areas are strange. They do not, where there's a beam here, this right there, there's no cargo. So the cargo is like this spot here, where it can actually lock. This spot here, anywhere between these beams on this thing, here and in the back here. There's no cargo grid along this wall or in the center, or honestly, really even like this part. This has not got a cargo grid. The cargo grid starts like here. So it's actually a very small cargo hold, but it does hold supposedly 200 cargo. And we do fit, I put a... I think like 16 or like 10 or maybe 10 or 12 size 16 cargo crates that I make upstairs. I bring them down here and store them for the first load. And then I'll make another load. We're not going to do that today, but so now we're going to go to what right now is not a very useful room. This is on the back side of the ship now in the posterior or thorax. I don't know what it's like an ant. I don't think the thorax is the right word. The abdomen? Is that what they call the back part of the ant? This is the ant's abdomen. There is no grid in here. And you can see there's definitely like now the 16 boxes will fit through, but it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not tall. It's definitely narrow. So getting 16s through here is a nightmare. The floor is also bumped up. So I don't know. Maybe what I'm thinking is, here, look, see, there's like latches, deck latch. I'm thinking almost that you'll fill these up with salvage, and then they will become boxes and move out of the ship here at this back door. And this is the door I was talking about. And I think we just opened it, but I'm not sure. When it's open, you can see outside the ship. I'm trying to... Yeah, I don't... Micah got it. Micah did it from the cockpit when we opened it. And then this is a salvage... It says salvage lift, but there's no lift. So once again, I don't know... There's going to be some kind of functionality here that we don't have in play yet. So this hold does not really do much of anything. You can put stuff in here. and sell it. So honestly, if you got greedy, you could actually do 4 A2s, M2s, and C2s and come back with $4 million worth of scrap. If you really got ambitious, but that's hours and hours and hours of playing. I don't know if I would be able to go that long. One more floor up. We're going to the salvage area. This is where you actually make the salvage. You make the boxes, and you'll see this process later in the video, so don't worry if you're not like now. You're like, what does he mean? You'll see. So this room has a cargo grid here and here, and then it's got 2 smaller cargo grids here and here. Now, once again, just like downstairs, the grid really starts at about this line back. So you can't use this frontal section. It doesn't. This is not part of the grid here. It's all in this area. So there's really, once again, about 10 or 12 of the size 16 boxes you can fit up here. I think I do 3 here, 3 here, and then 4 and 4 back here for a total of 4, 8, 11, yeah, like 14. I guess that, right? Let me 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 6 is 14. Right. No, 12. 12 boxes, right? No, 8 plus 6, 14, yeah. So 14 boxes, Arthur and his math. These are the machines that make the boxes here. Just like the Vulture, we have a little computer. This ship has internal storage of 240 units. Now, I've got a little teeny bit of recycled material that's in there. If I reset the ship, this will all go away. I probably need to reset it at some point to get that out of there, but it's keeping us from making 240. I can make 239. And then you can craft multi-tools and stuff just like the Vulture. But more importantly, when there's cargo in there, it'll tell you can make this box, and you have a choice of 1 size box, which is the little square boxes, 2 size boxes, which are the long like rectangle boxes but small. You can do the 8 size box, which is a big box that stands about as high as the door, and that's an 8 size box, but it's square. And then 16, which is basically a double 8, so it's going to be the size of the door and about the length of this pad. That's a 16. That's usually what I make, is I just make a bunch of 16s. Once again, if you got really ambitious, you can sort of kind of double stack some back here, so you might be able to get 4.5 ships in here. Each ship's worth $1 million. Remember, if you just do the crushing, it's $1 million. So you could carry $4.5 million in here. Yeah, pretty crazy. But this is where the magic happens. Then there's the salvage balcony up there. I'm not sure right now. It doesn't really do anything. We could take the elevator up there, but I'm not going to waste time because it's just all you do is go up there and look down. If you want to use your tractor cannon or gun, and for some reason the tractor beam guns aren't working today. It's typical server crap. I don't know why I can't get my tractor beam out, but you have to do it by hand today for some reason. So I've been having that problem. Let's see real quick here. It's weird that the ship inventory isn't showing up either. That's interesting. Let's see if I go here. Will it show up? Yes. Okay. I've got some drinks. I'm going to put that over here. Oh, I've got more. Whoops. Naked. Hang on 1 second, folks. Okay, now it's working. Still can't use the big gun, though, but it's weird. No, now it's not working. Okay, anyway. Let's go ahead up now, and we're going to go through a little bit of a tour of the ship, and then we'll get underway. So last but not least, we're going to go up one more floor to the habitation deck. The ship is pretty nicely outfitted, though it is a scary ship. Now, they said that they modeled this ship after Alien, so it's supposed to have like a creepy vibe to it. First of all, engineering is in the subdeck. All right, there is no other way to get down here. I don't think there's an elevator that goes down to subdeck. You have to, climb down the elevator, and this is the engineering area. You can see here we've got space modules. I don't think these open yet. Yeah, it's funny because the ship is new, but it's old. It's been in game for a long time, but it's just now actually functioning. So there's an engineer station. I'm not sure what you do here. Engineering things. This may require you to have a crew then. Once you get to this point, you might have to have somebody back here working on something. I don't know. But there's the engineering station. And it's kind of a creepy room, but it's cool. All right, so let's go back upstairs out of the engineering area. And the ladders, you got to watch. The ladders are a little weird. Sometimes you fall off of them. But that's, so which is worse, falling off the ladder or being sucked into space when you use the elevator in hyper jump? I don't know. They're both scary. Okay, airlock. Obviously here we have areas for spacesuits, medical equipment if you get injured. None of this works yet. And then we have the actual exit itself, which we are not going to go out here because there's gravity. I'll end up falling and breaking my neck. But I do sometimes go out here. But there's an airlock here, so that's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and close that. Probably should have closed this door too, because then in real life all the air would have gone out. All right, moving right along, we have the habitation area. We have the crew room here. This is where this is a 5-man ship apparently. There's 4 beds for crew members. There's working lockers. There is a storage area back here, but there's 4 nice beds. One of the things I like about this ship, the crew actually has a window to look out of. There's something about being in a ship that has no windows. It's like a submarine. You feel very claustrophobic. This is one of the few ships that I've seen that actually has windows. 400i has some, the 600i. Mostly luxury ships actually have windows, but most of the working ships don't, so it's kind of neat that this does. Look at this gross bathroom. Lots of rolls of toilet paper in case the pandemic comes back. Definitely somebody injured themselves and had to get in here and had to take care of themselves, apparently. Toothbrushes. It's the same color as the Reacher's toothbrush if you watch that series. Shaving cream. All the things that we need to be clean. Towels. Not sure what these do. Maybe drying racks. We've got towels too, old-fashioned way. And showers. And probably toilets too. 2 showers. Yeah, 2 toilets. So this is the crew bathroom. Nice, spacious bathroom, actually. Just kind of creepy looking, but it's spacious. And like I said, the bedrooms are nice. I actually like this hab. It's kind of cozy. It's dirty though, but it's cozy. Nicer than some of the things I've seen on real ships. So, like seagoing ships. All right, this is the captain's quarters. You have, obviously, guys can come in here and sit. Another window for the captain. The seat's broken right now. It only faces this way, so when you sit down, that's what you see. I'm not going to sit in it, but there is a computer screen here. Obviously, you can do some work, and that's your seat. And then the captain has his own little bedroom back here in the complete dark, hidden for some reason. And we have a closet for our clothes. We have a nice bed with a television or computer. I don't think there's any way to turn the lights off. And then the captain has his own bathroom, too. Same crappy materials, but there's no blood and the emergency kit. Nice toilet, actual normal toilet. Flush. Doesn't work. Dang. And a nice shower. Decent roomy shower for the captain. So he's got, I like this. It's your own personal little space here. And your bed. So, and then he's got this entry room. So that's pretty neat. Very nice hab. One of the nicer ones, honestly. Here we have the airlock or the docking collar to go up to a space station that I was talking about. I don't know how you'll go up because maybe a ladder comes down or something. I don't know. It's all padded, and there's some blood there too. So you probably it looks like rust. This is the eating area. Definitely has an alien vibe. Once again, a nice window for looking out the eating area, so you feel like it's gives it a little bit of openness. Cool food preparation area. Drinking water, coffee, milk, beans, food storage. So like little refrigerators. And another battery of that over here. So lots and lots of food for you and the crew, and a television for them or something to work with, monitor or whatever. Neat stuff. All right, so moving right along, we're going to go down into the technical deck. This is where things get a little dodgy. We have a room. I don't know what this is, but let's take a look in there. Let's go ahead and kind of show you around a little bit. And not really, because I don't know what this stuff does. So once again, you have 2 seats here that are drone controls. We don't have drones yet, so I don't know what those are going to do. I'm assuming that they're going to be strippers also. And what this is, I don't, there's some, maybe the drones go in here, one drone and then another drone over there. And they get moved over here maybe, and then pushed out to here, and then it launches. This roof obviously will open at some point. So that's an opening point. I don't know if it does or not. I haven't figured that out yet, but we don't really need to spend time on that. But there's some kind of weird elevator lifting device. So I'm imagining this launches the drones. And then for some reason you put it back here and maybe, oh, it looks like, I don't know. I'm not sure what that all does, but there you go. That's what it does. Open Sesame. So that's the drone area. Cool area, though. It's going to do something at some point. So this is the gravity ball. Keeps us on the ground. This is a ladder down to the captain's area. And we can also take... Oh, this goes up to the turret. And I fell off. Come on. Don't fall. All right. And that you sit in the seat and it goes up to the turret. We don't need to do that. You guys get the idea. But that's the approach to the turret, which is pretty cool, actually. That turret does some serious damage once again. And then... No, get down. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah, a little bit quirky on the ladder. Where are we? Okay, here we go. And then this is the elevator. This is the elevator down to the bridge. This is the alligator. I'm going to have to get Aegis armor. I'm wearing RSI armor right now. It's sacrilegious. You can see there's leaking water in here. So if you're using a computer and you get wet, you're probably going to die. The water does not leak until you get into space. There's the ladder again. Once again, we have... What is... open door. That's the elevator to outside. Can we call it? No. Call elevator. There we go. That's going to close it up. So that brings the elevator back up from the outside for one person only. Closed door. There we go. Okay. So there are 3 turrets on the ship. Actually, 4. There's 4 turret stations. I believe these... Oh, no. Scanning station. What is this? That's a scanner. Scanning station. There's 2 scanners. Maybe you scan for scrap. This is a remote turret and remote turret. I'm only seeing 3. I swear to God there's 5 turrets on the outside of the ship, but I guess... There you go. There's 3. So there's 2 escape pods here. I can't get into them right now. They look like they might be large, so I can't... It's hard to tell. You can just see the reflection, but these might be kind of larger, so we might be able to get in there and get a couple people in each one. Last but not least, we come on into the captain's area. Here we have... Oh, that's the other 2 turrets. Okay. These operate the scrapers. So you got the scraper on this side and a scraper on this side. Then you have the claw, co-pilot / claw operator seat, and the captain's chair. So let's go ahead and hop in the captain's chair. And there's a little armrest that comes down. There we go. And let's go ahead and power this bad boy up and get out of here. So engines are on. Let's see, we're in VTOL mode. Gear is down. Let's go ahead and call Lorville and ask them for takeoff. This ship is large enough that we're going to want to wait until the door is all the way open. So we look up, see the door opening. Cockpit is fairly visible. You can see around fairly well. And the ship has really bright lights, so when you get out to your target, you can light it up pretty well and see what you're doing, even in the dark of space. So yeah, you can see here there's a really pretty decent view looking down. This is all window here. This is the floor right there. I don't have my track IR on, but you can see there where the floor is. And down here, so you do have some ability to see where you are landing, but this thing is on the front of the ship. You can see there. It's that little pod, so it's hard to tell where the back of the ship is, and so you really need to come outside see what you're doing. Now, what I'm doing is I'm rolling my mouse wheel all the way up to full thrust and pressing spacebar, and we are launched. And now I'm going to pull the landing gear up. But you can see here, there's somebody else in a reclaimer right next door. It looks like they're trying to land. That's probably Micah, actually. I don't see the names, but it's because we're not in the ship. You can see there's wind, so we're being blown backwards. That's not Micah. Micah goes all the way to the front. He takes the front of the ship all the way up to the front. That's how he does it. So you can see here, your best attitude is just to leave by flying up using your space bar. And this gets us up above the city very quickly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get up into outer space. Actually, I'll show you the transition when we get higher up. But really unique ship, really cool ship. And that's why you're seeing a bunch of people now that it's working. You're seeing a bunch of people flying them because it just makes a lot of money. But it also costs a lot of money, so I'm gonna put the nose down a little bit. There we go. Back in the cockpit, you can see here we're going 60 up. And that's about as good as it's going to get. And honestly, you're probably best just to ride it straight out. Like I said, if you go to the other mode, it'll actually drop. You'll lose speed until you get a little bit higher up. So I'm just going to continue to ride the elevator, and we'll be back. We are now about 12,000 feet above the atmosphere, or above the ground. Continuing up. And once again, I'm about 80 miles or 80 kilometers per second, which is, we're just going to leave that. I'm happy with that, and there's no reason to switch over yet. You can see here, because I got the ship, for some reason, the package that I got it with, I've got a free name tag. So we've transferred our call sign to Lima Golf over to the Reclaimer. So we are now Reclaimer to Lima Golf rather than MSR to Lima Golf. What does that mean? Nothing. Where that comes from, once again, for those of you that don't know, there used to be a software company called LG, Looking Glass Software. And they made a really, really good flight simulator called Flight Unlimited. It was way ahead of its time. Now, looking back, it's goofy looking, but at the time, it was so much better than Microsoft Flight Simulator. And to this day, it still had better ATC than Microsoft Flight Simulator does. Like, you'd hear calls and you'd actually see the aircraft taking off and landing that were making the calls. I still don't think that's part of Flight Sim, at least not that I've seen. So, ahead of its time. And, you know, airplanes have call signs. Usually it's the last three letters or digits of the license. So they'll have 6. Like North America is usually, I think like NA or NM. It might even go by state, but they have, you know, airplanes are registered with a license number. And so the last 3 is usually about what you call the airplane by. So it'll be like, you know, Piper 2 Alpha Charlie, you know, Piper, you know, 117, you know, whatever the last 3 digits are. Well, in the game, your airplane was always 2 Lima Golf for Looking Glass Software, 2 Lima Golf, 2 Looking Glass Software. And so it stuck. I got used to saying 2 Lima Golf. And then what was interesting is in the game Freelancer, for those of you that don't know, and by the way, we're going to transition here. So I'm going to press K and put the cruise control on full. And I'm going to put the nose up. And now we're going to start traveling this way. There we go. So we're fully transitioned. And you can see here now we're gaining some speed because we are now in full flight mode. So that's pretty sweet. In the game Freelancer, which is the same person that designs this game, Freelancer was the first attempt, very crappy old attempt at making a game like this. Still a great game. And in Freelancer, you were Alpha Golf Charlie, which it's funny, like AGC, which is my first initials. Actually, those are my initials. So it was Alpha. Two Alpha Golf. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was something like with it was Alpha Golf something, and so I was like, oh, that's cool. So like it still had my initials in it, AG, Arthur George. So it's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, but Freelancer also had an Alpha Golf in it. So, but it was Freelancer Alpha Golf. I thought it can't be Alpha Golf Charlie because those are my initials. There's no way. I'll figure it out and tell you before the episode's over. All right, so now we are in space. We have just done the thing that you can't do in Starfield. Ha ha. Here we go. In a much more realistic manner. So contract manager, we're going to take a look here at our contracts. We're going to go into salvage. And we're going to look, let's see, we're on Hurston, so we can find one of these at one of the Hurston wells. Would be nice. Crusader A2. That's far away still. M2, Micro, Tech, Drake Cutter, Vanguard, Raft, Scorpius. Okay, so we're just going to go for, let's see. We'll do the one at Hurston L5. It's probably as far as any of these other stations, but I'm going to go ahead and take it. It cost us $50,000 to take it, so we better do it. So now we have the mission in here on our accepted, and we will have a marker there. I need to go into my map, and I need to pick, we're going to pick the station. Where are we going? There's L3, L4, L5. There we go. So we're going to double click on L5, and I'm going to pick the actual high core station. We're going to go to the station. So now I've got a jump route, and that'll take us close to our claim. We'll have to go the rest of the way out, but that's how we get there. So I'm going to go back into driving mode, turn Z back on, and we're going to rotate this way. And I'm going to bring my speed down to regular speed there, and we'll pick up as we need. But when we arrive, we will be going 0 miles an hour. You will notice that it took about a 16th of a tank of hydrogen to get out of atmosphere. That's what it takes. So this thing sucks hydrogen, and it will because it's heavy. So you're going to spend, I think my bill after 2 trips in and out of atmosphere was about $11,000. But you're making money, so who cares? But it's still, there's a cost there. And just be ready for that. So still spooling up. And let's go ahead and enter into hyperdrive. And I'm going to jump. And I'm going to go get some coffee while we're jumping. You guys enjoy the view. I won't make you stay. Uh-oh. Did the game... Okay, good. Is it going to crash? It might. All right, so I'll be back in just a few minutes. This is the Lima Golf. We have arrived in space. Now we're going to jump to, well, L5A. I thought I was got the space station, but apparently I grabbed the wrong thing. That's all right. Boom. Okay, we need to get closer. One more little jump, then I'll have to fly / drive. Might be worth upgrading the quantum drive on this ship. It is pretty slow as far as its recovery. Okay, and now we're going to have to fly the rest of the way manually. Just watch for asteroids. They do come out of nowhere. What do we got out there? Nothing in front of us, it doesn't look like. All right, so I will piddle my way over here, and I'll get you guys when we start getting close. I'll be back. So as we get closer here, I'm just thinking about, like, let's say in the future things get hostile. I know there's going to be a lot of players on. When we start having shards all connected, we're going to have hundreds of players. And ships like this are going to get attacked. So I would say when you're running to a claim, everybody's on turrets, your crew. You got all 5 turrets active, or all 4, 3 turrets active. I don't know, 4, 3. I'm not sure how many there are, 5, whatever it is. You'll have all the turrets active. You'll keep the main turret active while 2 people are stripping, maybe, and one of the rear turrets. And then everybody goes back on turrets while you're crushing. Except for one person, you have one person with you crushing. So I think that would leave you with 3 turrets and then the pilot and the crusher. And then you would go to the best probably practice is to go to the space station that's nearest, which is, a very short jump, and get into the armistice zone. And that's where you start moving your boxes. Right now, it's a peaceful universe. We'll see how things go. Maybe different systems will be more violent than others. I hope there are groups of vigilantes that want to keep these systems nice. I'm sure there will be. And then there'll be systems where pirates just rule the whole system and you don't go there unless you have to. So we'll see how that all works out. But I'm just thinking from a gameplay, role play standpoint, you probably will have to defend yourself eventually. All right, I'll be back. I'm all by myself. And speaking of nerves, I think this is going to be a space cop, but there's another ship up there. Don't know what it is. I got to take a look. Hang on. Take a look at our target screen and see what we got. Oh, we got a constellation. Weird. Yeah, maybe we'll crunch him up too. If he's still there. He hasn't turned hostile, so let's see. I want to turn targeting off. Is it Shift T? No, that's alternate T. Okay, no target. Sometimes you target people, they get hostile because they don't want to be targeted. I'm not sure what that guy's doing, but he could tear us up pretty good if we're not careful. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the lights on. You'll get to see that. They are pretty bright. You don't really see them come on, but you'll know when we get to the ship. It's going to light it up. So they do aim down. Everything on this ship aims down a little bit. So when you're aiming at a target to work on it, you need to put the nose up. So like you want to just see a little teeny bit of the ship when you're in mode to scrape. And I'm going to get up a little bit here. We can see we're starting to light that ship up with these great lights. The Vulture also has really good lights. These are much brighter. But because the ship's larger, I don't know. It's kind of... Okay. Turning the cruise control off. And... there we go. And I'm going to aim up a little bit. Once again, like I said, that's going to put our scrapers in a good position. So if we're looking like that. And we're going to get in closer... I get into about 100, and we'll go. There we go, about 79. And we're going to get even closer when we crush. But there we go. So we're close, and I'm going to leave the station, which I really hate to do with another target nearby. But like I said, we'll see. If he's soft death, we'll crush him up. So I want to show you how these scrapers work. So I'm going to enter the salvage operator seat. And I got to turn the device on, so they're going to look to the... It's weird. You kind of look, at least on the other one. I haven't done this one yet. Oh, there's the power on this one. Okay, enter remote. We got to power it on first, right? Power on. Okay. And there we go. So you start off on the ready gripped tractor module. Each of these has a tractor beam on it. I think you probably could control the ship if you have both of them on at the same time. A ship this big, I can move it back and forth, but I cannot rotate it. So that kind of sucks. It's a little too big for our purposes. You can see here there is a light attached to our scraper. So as we move around the ship, it lights up the area. We're going to grab the trawler scraper module. This is a pretty decent scraping module. And you'll see here, it makes a nice big hole. And then we start moving it along. And if you move slow, you can pretty quickly strip a ship. How much do we have? I want to get about 2 boxes. I'm looking for the place where it tells me. The depot. Above filler station ready, we got 1.2. I want to get that to 2. I just want to make a box so I can clear it out. I don't want more than 2, but you can see here scraping definitely has been nerfed a little bit since we started. It takes a lot more to get scraping. That's why I say I don't really usually waste my time doing this, but I wanted you guys to see it in action. So you can imagine somebody else on the other side would be scraping up by the front of the ship, and you both can work at the same time and scrape fairly quickly. And the scrap is worth a lot of money. So it is, once again, you get about 50 boxes, which is about $1 million, $1.5 million. So if you scrape the whole ship underneath and above, you're going to make $1.5 million plus the money you get from the crunching, which is another $1 million. That's $2.5 million. I think you probably, with a full crew, could do that in about an hour. So I brought my phone in here to charge it, and I forgot to plug it in. So it's been sitting here. You heard a ding. That was me, by the way. In case you're wondering, was that me? No, that was me. All right, so we're up to 1.8. Like I said, I just want to get to 2. Thankfully, we haven't been attacked yet. Just keep it nice and slow, and you'll eat up lots. Okay, so that's the scraping. So you've seen it. I'm not going to do any more, but that's how you do it, and you can scrape the whole ship like that. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so now we move over to the crusher, and I just want to see it. Once again, I'm going to lose a little bit, but I want you guys to see this. So enter the claw operator's seat. And I'm going to be real cheesy here, and we're not going to... First of all, I turn the power on. For whatever reason, there's a bug in this cockpit where for this seat, for some reason, is in the fog. The other seat's got a nice clear view, and you look over at this guy, and he's all covered in fog. I don't know if this guy's like a smoking doobies while he's working or something. Great, I probably just screwed myself out of a rating there. I don't, so I don't condone or justify. I really actually have an aversion to that stuff because I had a lot of marriage problems with somebody who was a heavy smoker, and we'll just leave it at that anyway. But if you got to do it, you got to do it. Here we go. I'm going to now. You press the M button to enable the deployed arm. You can see here though you can't control the ship at all, so you're pretty much, I don't think we're aimed properly at this ship. So what I want to do is I'm going to get out of the seat, and here's where having 2 people or more helps, because then you got to move back over to the captain's seat. It's going to put the arm away. When I sit back down in it, the arm will come back out, but you can see where this is kind of a pain. So since we're not scraping, I want to get closer, and I want to aim down a little bit. Let's get this down to about 40 meters. That's good. And we're going to break this bad boy apart. Now, and here's where having a second person also still on the scraper module would help, because you could get them to hold the ship with tractor beams while you do this. So what's going to happen is once I break it, it's going to split up, and it's going to start rolling away from us, which makes it hard to get. The tractor beam would stabilize it. So, okay, so we're going to, first of all, we're going to fracture field. We're going to break this into pieces. You can see here the little green indicator showing us that it's fracturing. And this just breaks 4 little pieces off. Basically the wingtips and the tail. And here we go. It's going to run away. Stop. Please stop. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to go to the disintegration field. This is showing us that at the current distance, we're going to make more target. It's going to make 240.2, and we have room for 238 because there's already 2 in the depot. Let's go for it. So we're going to start the disintegration process by firing the unit. And you can see it's starting to disintegrate, and it's getting wiggly. Now, if I had a pilot, I would have asked him to move left a little bit or aim the ship left a little bit, but we don't. Once again, the project. This is the fast part. Okay. So just to give you an idea, this video, we're at 50 minutes now in the video, but that includes the tour. So it took us about a half an hour to get to this point, including the jump. So you can see where it's about per hour because there's still work that we have to do once we're done doing this. Now, if it were me, I would send my crew into the back to start making boxes, and I would already be heading to the next unit. But we can't do that because we're full. So, but if it were me, once again, I'd say, all right, guys, go ahead and head back to the back and start moving stuff. Then you can see there that filled up the filler station. We can see our boxes, at least some of the cargo boxes there too. But so now we're going to go to the back of the ship. We're done. We're done crunching. We're done with the ship. We're going to go to the back, and I'm going to show you how to do these boxes. At least one group of them. You can do many, but we're like I said, you can fit up to, it seems like 4. There's the inside of the ship. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you that. Well, you can see it from up here too. See that? You're seeing the bay where the stuff gets crushed up. Now, I'm always crushing, so I don't know if that actually changes when you're doing the crushing, if you see the materials go through there, but that would be cool. All right, let's head to the back. And we're on our way down to salvage processing. I've got my gear gun. And I'm going to move as fast as I possibly can, and then we're going to check out that Andromeda and see if we can strip that thing. Okay. So we have construction materials. We're going to make that 16 size boxes. Oh, and I've got recycled materials. Let's make this one. We'll make one box here and eject. Ah, it didn't make enough. It said it had 2. It's only got 1. Dang it. Well, we're just going to leave it then. We're going to just do the construction materials. So we're going to eject those, and I have an auto eject, and I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. I'm going to go to our construction materials, 16 SCU, and I'm going to eject. And auto eject, and it'll spit that crap out. Someday that's going to come out. Hello. This one will come out first. What are we doing? And this just depends on how fast the server is. It's supposed to take 16 seconds. You can see there's filling, and here it comes. But somehow they both did it at the exact same time, even though I started the other one many seconds before the second one. So you gotta wait till it comes out all the way, and when it drops down, now it's free. Still not free. Server speed makes a difference. And we're gonna jam that as far back as I can. That's there. I'm going to take this one, same thing, go the other way, jam that back as far back as I can. Ta-da. And that's it. Now we got to wait. If they're on auto eject, they'll keep putting them out, and you just keep moving them away. If you don't move away, you'll have to press the button. No big deal. The processing noises are creepy as all get out. There's something very Metroid Prime-ish about this ship. Nope. There we go. It's got some creep factor going on. Okay. You gotta watch. Because that can also make it eject to the outside of the ship, and then you gotta go out and cover it. That is not how I wanted that. Thank you. Oh, the ship is so creepy. Blood on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Nope. Yep. So you can see we can fit 4 back there. And once again, we will make about that many boxes. You can see we're halfway done. Now we're missing 2 once again. But, yeah. come? This is the exciting part. We're taking a little bit of risk by sitting out here, but you'll see. It'll be worth it in the end. Now, these don't snap too, so you got to get it in there right, and I did not. Ugh. We're going to do this. Nope. I want to go. I don't know why these never go the way that I want them to go. I have a really hard time rotating these. Some of you guys are probably experts at this, but I am not. And now, because I took so long, I'm going to miss the boxes, and I'm going to have to press the button. The automation got missed. That's not what I did with my mouse, but okay. All right, let's flip it this way. There we go. Let's get it right side up. Okay. And a little bit more. Nope. And now it's going the opposite way of where it was going. Okay. Star Citizen. Okay, production has come to a halt because I'm screwing around with this one box. This is what happens. Oh, for crying out loud. Let's hit the fence. So now it's I have to go back here and rotate it this way. Okay, and we're going to rotate like that. Nope. Yep, nope. Yep. Oh, nope. Yep. Okay, all right, got it. Nope. Fudge. God dang it! Okay, I sort of got it in there. I might have paused the video and said some really bad words. Come on, you piece of good. Okay, it's probably going to go into space. There we go. Okay, there we go. God bless it. That's not what I said off camera. Okay, but see, this is how easy it should. Nope, it did it again. Okay, and I just because I whacked it into the railing. And forget it. Where did that one go? Okay, that one's gone outside. So, oh, no, it's upstairs. Let's bring it back down. This one can, yeah, get stuck up there. Okay. So once again, there's upsides and downsides to using the 16 size boxes. And you can imagine moving these downstairs on the elevator and trying to get them through the little tiny doors on the back of the ship or on the front of the ship. No easy task. So I'm hoping that the salvage hold really does have something to do with the way that this works. And then the cargo hold really just becomes actual cargo. So if you want to, pull the cargo out of the ships that you're stripping and keep it, like the gold and the quantanium, and just store it in there until you go to a space station where you sell it, then that would be the best. This is jammed. Farg monkeys. Okay, there we go. Now we got it down. All right, boom. There we go. Let's get this to lock in over there. That's as far over as it goes. Fun with boxes. Okay, so now these are both jammed. I don't know why my guy's leaning, but all right, so we're going to have to say continue ejecting and continue ejecting. Oh, for crying out loud. I'll be back. All right, so all I had left was little boxes. I got on the phone. You can see I moved all these here. So now I got these little boxes that I'm going to move around. We're going to take these down to the cargo hold just to get them out of the way because they're small. They don't really fit up here with all of our other stuff. So, though I wonder if we can put these on top. Will these snap? No, but will they snap up front? Nope, that doesn't look like it's going to work. See, and this is what I'm saying. Like, there's a grid up here, but you can't use that. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So we can snap these to this grid, and that will be nice because then I can do that here and not have to take these downstairs. Because like I said, using the elevator is a pain in the butt. But there should be like 6 of these boxes, I think, or 5. So this has some use, right? Stop it. Why does he keep leaning? It's so weird. I didn't want you to lean. All right, put that one there. And is there any left? I think that's all. Yeah, there's still one coming out here. How about this one? Is this one stuck? Nope, that's empty. So we have very little construction materials and 1.64. So I need to really get 0.4. All right. And then we're going to, if that Andromeda is still there, I've stayed in the area simply because of that. I wanted to see if we could strip that ship so we could get another load. But you can see here, this is the process. So if I was going to do another ship, which we are, but I'm not going to do this, I would take this load downstairs on the elevator and put it into the cargo hold. But we've got a nice, I mean, you can see how much material we've made, and that's really a nice amount. So you could get creative here and stack up maybe like at this end, like fill that up. And then the problem is if you start filling this end up, though, you've got to deal with still having access to these and then leaving. So you have to leave this end open so you can get out there and fall down, or use somebody to crane you out. Anyway, let's go see if that ship's available. The ship is still here. I'm not sure if I should. I don't know if there's people on board. It's just sitting here. It's got its shields up. We could fix that. Maybe. I don't know if I can get in. It might be locked. Once again. Oh, God. I'm going to overshoot it. Oh, boy. Was it a server disconnect or something, maybe? I don't know. Hey, who knows? It might have valuable cargo on it, too. We'll see. It's, this is Micah's ship. He's got one of these. I'm looking to see in the cockpit if I see anybody. I don't see anybody in there. Looks like the seats are empty. Well, here's a little adventure for you. So the question is, oh, it looks like it's missing parts up top. So I guess, I don't know. I'm gonna venture out there and see what I see. I'll be right back. Probably stupid for doing this. I don't have a weapon. I come unarmed. I don't think I have any in the hold either. Let me check real quick here. Now I got clips, but I don't have any gun. So this is really stupid. Now the version that is the exploration version. So I don't think it. I think it has less guns, but it's still deadly. I'm falling out for some reason. There we go. All right. Let's skitter along here and see what we got. Cargo bay, docking collar. Can we go in through the docking collar? That's the question. Look at the guns on that thing. Opdoy. Nope. Okay, so it's locked. Once again, though, I don't see anybody in there. But we can't disintegrate it unless the shields are down. Let me take a real quick look. I don't see anybody in there. And I think we're... Is that the hab, too? No, you can't see the hab. And I don't think this has any other windows. Okay, well, soft death is always an option. This ship is so freaking... This is... Oh, yeah, you can't do this in Star Citizen either. I'm sorry, not Starfield. I'm sorry. Starfield's an okay game. I like picking on it. I enjoyed it. Oh, look at all the blood in the airlock. That's not very reaffirming. Everybody just got sucked out of the ship. Close the door. Thank you. Yeah, no, close it. It'll close on its own. Okay, so let's go back up front. So what I'm going to attempt here is to soft death this ship. Since there's nobody there, Obviously, nobody's doing anything. I could get a criminal stat for this. We'll see. That's a good point. What I'm doing is illegal. Do I want to risk it? Sure. Why not? Hey, we'll make enough money to cover for it, so why care? All right, I'll be back. This will give us the opportunity to try out our big turret. If we can ever get up the stairs without falling. This is my nightmare. Oh, no, what are you doing? God, you idiot. Just get up there. Getting to the top of the ladder and falling off. That's my nightmare. All right, let's ride this thing up and gotta power it on. Come on, power it on. Jeez, oh Pete. Let's take a look at our target information. Why that wouldn't be the first screen that comes up? Do I get a criminal stat? That's the question. He's not friendly. He's a jerk. There's nobody in the ship. Not friendly. Blow. Wow, this thing has got a... Oh, yeah. So you can do it in one volley. Look at that. Did I get a crime stat? No crime stat. Okay. Power off. And exit. That's pretty cool. I'm going to see if I can use that chintzy elevator up front. It's a little scary, but... there's the crunchy area that I was talking about. Opdoy. Get in. I can't get in. Okay, there we go. There's no... It's weird. There's like no button to activate this, though. I don't... Okay, so I can't use this elevator for whatever reason. It should just work when you walk into it, but it's not functioning. So I need to go to the back of the ship, which sucks because it's a long walk again. I want to see if there's any cargo on that ship. I'll be back. Oh, yes. And there's no cargo. I didn't know. I thought maybe this would be like a rich merchant that just like died and left his ship. The delusion was grand, but he still left us probably a good $50,000-$60,000 worth of scrap, maybe more, maybe hundreds. We'll see. When I break it up, we'll find out how much it's worth, won't we? All right, I'm heading back. I'll see you guys in the cockpit. Okay, we're back in the cockpit. Once again, we're going to go up and above a little bit. But when using the breaker, we can be aimed pretty straight at the ship. Aim it right about there. And I'm going to get a little closer. Get a little closer. And we're going to put that big claw out and see what kind of damage we can do. Once again, I don't care about stripping it. I'm not going to worry about that. But that was pretty cool that we got a soft death. You know, I feel like it used to be all the time that it was explosions, but... This one was not. This one actually broke up nicely. So that's what we want to see. Arm deploying. 34 SCU. That's not very big. It'll give us a little bit more than that, but that's not really a lot. I mean, several $1,000s. Oh, wow, that was violently explosive. Jeez, oh, Pete. Start disintegrating everything that we can quickly before it all floats away. $26. These two we're still doing, the ones to the upper left and right. Oh, there was some cargo in there? Or no, that was from the other ship. Okay. Maybe. Cool. We got some minuses there. If you don't look directly at it, you do lose some. Let's hop in here. And what is that box out there? That interests me. Micah knows how to scan those. I think you just press V and then scan it. But I didn't. He had a box of something. What is that? It's not telling us on the scanner. I want to know, do what's in this box. And I don't really feel like going outside to get it. What is that? I'll be back. What is this? What is this? What is it? It's nothing! Dang it. Alright, I've moved into the position. So 36 extra boxes will bring us... I mean... I'm trying to think of what that would be worth. We got 250 boxes is worth about $1 million. So 36 is going to be a couple $100,000. It's we'll see. We'll know over 900,000 what we got. So, okay, so let's go ahead. And you can see I injured myself. I fell down my own chute. Trying to climb down the stairs, the ladder, and the nightmare occurred. And I fell down the steps. Oh, I'm too close. Maybe. So we should get about 8 more. So 38 about. It's like a Scooby-Doo sound. Is it crunchable? Suck all that in. Yeah, 39. And we're looking right at our destination there. So we're going to turn that off and hop out of the seat. We are done. How about that? So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the space station ahead of us. And we're going to land on the pad and sell what we made. And you can see the crazy amount of money that we're going to make. I do have to move that 30-some cargo out. So it'll be about two big boxes and a couple small boxes. But we should be able to jump right to the station. So let's get that done. I'll be back. All right, we're arriving to the free pads that are going to be way too small for this. I'm trying not to whack into the ceiling here. So we got to get above this, and then you'll see how we do this, but it's small. And I'm going to twist this way. Slide my butt that way. Okay, That should be pretty... Let's take a look and see how we're doing from the outside. It's hard to tell from this angle, but it looks okay. We need to shift left. All right. We need to, whoops, nose up a hair. Okay, that's good. And landing gear down. Let's see if that touches the thing. How high are we? It's hard to tell once again. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. All right, from this angle, oh, it looks like we're good. So you can see here, this is what we have to do with these pads. I don't think we could fit on that other one. And that's about where we want to be. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, when you're in VTOL mode, I'm not in VTOL, I'm in landing mode. I'm not in VTOL because we're in space. When you are in VTOL mode, just so you're aware of this, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot go backwards. So you have to, oh, I just hit that sign. Okay. So you have to stay facing forwards, and you have to make sure that you only go forward, but there is no back when you're VTOLing. So you got to plan accordingly. It's a real pain in the butt. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to go this way. I think I went too far. I'm going to swing this back a little bit, please. Right there. All right. And we're going to... Nope. And we are officially down. We'll turn the bright lights off. And that's how you land a reclaimer on a pad. Now, I've clonked my claw into the deck, which is not great. So we're going to... I'm going to bring the nose back the other way a little bit. I'm going to back up just a hair. There's not a lot of space. And I'm going to turn this way. Good. And I'm going to shift out this way because we got a little bit of pad left out there. All right. Almost. And down. Oh, God. This thing does clonk itself on the ground when it lands. All right, so we need to head to the back of the ship, so I'll be right back. One thing I forgot. If we can service the ship here, this is the one thing I forgot. First of all, turn the engines off, but let's see if we can service the ship. If we can service the ship, we can sell the stuff. We can. Okay. That's good news. You see, it was $5,000 to get that hydrogen. So here's what you can do. You can stay out in space and not have to go to the planet's surface as long as you're only selling construction materials. If you're going to sell the stripped materials, then you can't sell them here. They have to go to the planet. So you could either offload them to another ship or you can go to the planet. But if you're just doing the construction materials like we did tonight, we can sell that here. And as long as you can get to the pad here and do what we just did, where we're calling in for service, as long as you can service, let's see, we're going to turn our engines back on. It takes a really long time, by the way, to refuel the hydrogen. As long as you can do the service, you are you're good to go. So it's kind of cool because you can sell stuff now. So I didn't think the pad was going to work, but it did. This is the first time I've tried this. So all right, we'll be back. I missed these. There's another room here. We're on the tech deck. There's like a little room. I'm not sure what this does, but then there's also escape pods here. There's more. Remember I commented how there weren't enough. Here's 3 more. So you got an escape pod room right there. Okay, so moving to the back, we're going to go to our salvage hold. And I got to make those last couple boxes. So I'm going to go do that. So I'll be right back. And my tractor beam's not working. So I was able to push the boxes out, but I can't move them, which means we have about a couple $1,000s of materials sitting in there that I can't get out without selling these. That's really frustrating. But anyway, let's go see what we made. I'm going to go into the space station now, get healed, and then we're going to go to the admin and sell what we have. Hopefully we can do it. I don't know. It's the game, obviously we were on the pad. I was able to refuel, but I don't know for sure if it's going to work. So we may still have to go to the planet to sell this. I'm hoping we can do it here because this would make life a lot easier. But a life of ease is not always promised, is it? So, in any situation. Oh, what is going on? Why are we up here? I turned the engines off. I'll be back. My engines were off. Oh, Star Citizen. I'm not sure. I think the pads are below us. That's the top. All right. Nope, they're right there. Shoot. Okay. So nose down. Why this happened? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but I am annoyed at this point. All right. You need to descend down between these. That was really bizarre. We had everything all lined up and perfect. I go to get out and we're floating in space. Take it nice and slow. We're gonna face the opposite way, I guess. Maybe I need to leave my engines on, and that could be why we stopped having communication with the deck too. Let's get our nose up. And I'm going to do that. And then we're going to go outside and do the Z camera. Get down to about there. And now we're going to level off. So Z again, nose up. Forward a little bit. Z left, nose up still. It's hard to tell. Clonk. Okay, that's a little too harsh. Okay, up. Let's back up a little bit. Back up and nose up again. Nose down. Centered. Stop. Okay. Conk. Okay. Now let's see. Is this reading as we are landed? I haven't left. Okay. And are we moving? No, it doesn't look like it. Let's see if we can repair. We can. This time, I'm just going to leave the engines filling. And let's see what happens. Am I taking off? No. Maybe. Let's take a look. Ship is staying on the pad. Okay. All right, I'll be back. Nope, but I went to the elevator and now we're flying again. For some unknown reason, the ship has just decided it's going to take off all by itself. So this sucks. So this is not working. This was working before. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, why it's not working now. But it did work for us before. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on now. But we're not getting a good suction to the pad. I'm going to try going left a little bit. See if that'll... Nope. Come on, put your leg down. What are you doing? Nope. Okay, take off. I'm going to end up blowing up. I'm going to end up getting stuck in the station. I think my arm is stuck. No. Okay, back up. Oh, God. So I think it has to do with elevator usage. As soon as I use the elevators, we leave. So I'm going to actually go out the airlock And again, they probably break my legs. Oh, I went in the wrong hole. Sounds like a personal problem. So I'm trying not to use the elevators. I'm going to try to just airlock my way out. I don't know if I can do this without dying. We'll have to see how far out the butt is and if I can float or if I'm just going to drop to the deck. So here's a risk. Oh, man. I think I'm okay to float. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so this is super dangerous. And to get back in the ship, I might lose the ship. Because I have to lower the elevator if I'm going to go back in. Oh, no. Risk. Risk. Come on, fella. Get right side up. Oh, God. I'm going to get stuck in the station. Okay, so the ship is staying put, though, so that's good news. All right, we landed nicely. Okay. Gosh, let's head inside. This is not easy. And it's, once again, but, okay, so which is harder, to land on a planet or try to get this lined up without the ship taking off on you? Well, if we had a second person, once again, that would make life a lot easier because then the captain could sit there and the ship probably won't take off if the captain's sitting in the seat holding it down. So if he sees it starts to lift, he can just push it back down again. But we don't have that luxury because I'm by myself. So let's go on up, and I'm going to get to the admin in the relaxation hab. So we find our interstation transit. I've been to the hospital already and healed myself. And I'm going to the Galleria, and we're looking for the admin office. Usually it's on the second floor. Let's take a look. But it's right here on this one. So there's the admin office right there. And we're going to sit in here drinking. Hello. All right, and let's take a look. Select location. Aegis Reclaimer. We can see the Reclaimer. That's good news. And we can sell all of our stuff right here. They have very high inventory. So 7 units, 7 of those boxes are worth $682,000. Man. So we made $600,000 right there, and then we're going to add in the 158. No demand, in demand, no demand. Okay. Oh, no. So they're full, so we have to wait to sell it. Ah, that sucks. Somebody must have been here before us and sold a bunch. Aegis Reclaimer. And, yeah, there's no demand for it, so we got to wait. Dang it. But that'd be about $1.58 million, I think. So about $2 million. Yeah, crazy. We have to wait. We'll be back. So I have a baby that needs to be woken up. She's been asleep for a couple hours, so I have to go. I will have to sell this later, which really sucks. I hate selling I hate leaving stuff in my ship because, half the time the game doesn't work right and you end up losing it. So we're going to bed log. But to give you an idea, 158 units times $6,000 basically a unit. So we're looking at $1 million right there. So $1 million plus we already made $600K. So we made a grand total of $1.5 million on that run. Now it took a little bit longer because I was tutorialing you. I can do it a lot faster if I'm not stopping and talking and showing you stuff or trying things out. But that just gives you an idea of the money-making power that we have. Unfortunately, I can't sell my load here. Now, planets, the nice thing is planets almost always need the construction materials, so you don't run into situations like that where there's no demand and you're stuck with the ship full. But I'm going to have to back the ship off and wait until later to sell it, maybe sometime this week when people haven't been selling like crazy here, because what's happening is there's obviously been a lot of sales, and so I can no longer I can't sell because the capacity's full. So anyway, have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And I hope to see you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it entertaining and also full of useful information to help you on your journeys. I got to find my ship. It definitely was not pad 4. So, it's pad 3. There we go. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, and be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. We'll see you next time. Bye.